Hello, my friends, and I just want to welcome our beautiful and amazing guest today, Amanda. She is a coach under Micah. Yes, Micah. And she is a star diamond. She has all the passion, all the fire, all the energy. She has a cute little disabled boy who she makes her reason and not her excuse. And her story is absolutely incredible. So I wanted to invite her to be a speaker on our call today to bring a little bit of fire to your life and then to also share how she does her power hour so that you can see multiple ways of doing things no matter what phase of life you're in, no matter what your personality is like. So I'm going to turn the time over to Amanda.
Yay. Thanks, Bryn. I'm so excited. Like, Bryn's like, hey, do you want to call? And we were talking about doing a call back at like last summit when I was incredibly hungover, just as a side note, at the Power of I Am. And I walked in stumbling. I think I was still intoxicated because we can't, it was ridiculous. Why I do that to myself, I don't know, but it only happens like once a year. So I was like, I'll go with it. So I was like, we got to do a team call. It's going to be so great. So I'm really excited, and I'm not drunk, obviously, because I'm pregnant. So it's cool. But, I think like starting off, I'd love to just kind of share a little bit of my story with you so you get a little bit of background. I know Bryn talked a little bit about our son, Raphael. So I have been coaching for about 4.5 years now. And when I started off coaching, I started off like so many of you. I was like, boy, I need something that's actually going to work. I was overweight. I struggled with weight my entire life. I had tried diets. I had tried going to the gym. I tried all these fitness programs, and there was always something that was just lacking. And I could not figure out what it is. I could not stay on track. I could not stay motivated. I would start something and I would finish. Like, anybody out there, raise your hand if you're like chronic cycle of starting, stopping, starting, stopping. That was my life. And I was, I think at my highest point of weight, I was at probably about 220, 230 pounds. And, I'm not very tall. I'm average. I'm like 5'5", 5'5.5". And I just felt sluggish. My knees hurt so bad. I would go upstairs or walk and I'd be out of weight. I played softball. Like, I thought I was pretty active, but it was just like one of those weekend things. And most of the time I was drinking. So it's not even like I was doing something good for myself. And, fast forward, after struggling with this my entire life, I met my husband. He was my then boyfriend, and we got engaged. And I was like, boy, I really need to get myself back on track. But there were other things in my life I was struggling with that played into my struggle with my weight. I had very low self-confidence. I had very low self-esteem. And really, to be honest, I hated what I saw in the mirror. I hated, there was so much shame and guilt over things that I had done in my life that kept me like way down here when I knew that I was supposed to be up here. But, even though your brain and maybe, and people tell you, you're so awesome and you should be here, when you have shame and weight and pressure and pain and guilt, it keeps you down here. And so I was here and I was like, I need to go to counseling. And it wasn't my first round of counseling. So I was like, I'm going to go back. And I started to see a Christian counselor, and we were talking about things. What do you want to see in your life? And one of the things I put on there is I was like, you know what? I really want to get my health and fitness in order. And so I was working on some things, and I got engaged, and I was up one night drinking wine. I probably was smoking a joint, and I saw this commercial for Beachbody. And I was the girl who downloaded off of Limelight. It was like one of the Napster sites almost, where you could download programs and videos and stuff. And I had downloaded Turbo Fire, Turbo Jam, and Hip Hop Apps. And I was like, okay, like, I really like these programs. It didn't come with a nutrition plan. I don't even think all the videos were there. So I didn't even get to finish the complete program. I didn't have support. So I stopped, right? I quit. I wouldn't even finish the program. So I saw this infomercial for PIO, and I was like, that'd be great. It's low impact. I could do it in my apartment. So I was living in an apartment. I could do it in my apartment without my neighbors thinking that I'm making love. And it will be awesome for me. So I bought the program online with a gift card, with a Visa gift card. And I ended up, I guess, getting a challenge pack because I got Shakeology with it. I don't know. And I got a free coach. And one of the things that I realized, I never finished that program. Just as a side note, I still have never finished PIO. But one of the things that I did have was I started to have someone who like checked in on me and really started genuinely like caring about me. That even if I wasn't doing my workout or I wasn't eating right, they didn't beat me up about it. Or they just check in and just say, how's everything going? How's life? I know you're busy. You're planning a wedding, like how's work and all those things. And so I really built my friendship with my coach. This is before Micah. And, that was something I had never had before. And she plugged me into these groups. And I saw like, there are other women like me who are out there and who are struggling. And that's what I knew, that this was going to be different from anything else. This was going to be the difference and game changer. So fast forward, I get married. Fast forward, I'm like, okay, you know what? I found a picture of myself on a beach and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to see this. I see this fat back. I'm done. We need to change. I need to change now. And when I started coaching, I did it for accountability. I literally was like, I need extra accountability in my life, because if I say that I'm a coach, then that means that I'm going to get my butt up and I'm going to do what I know that I need to do, because it's just going to give me that extra layer. Because people are going to be, I publicly came out and said, I'm doing this thing. Like I'm going to be a coach. I'm just trying to get my health in order and I'm going to coach. And people knew from that point on that that's what I was going to do. And I was like, I put it out there into the universe and I spoke it into the atmosphere. I better hold myself to it. And I did. And as I started doing that, I started feeling more confident about myself. I also started going through infertility treatments. We were struggling to get pregnant, and I went through infertility treatments. So I was taking Femera, the hormone Femera, to try to get my progesterone up and release eggs. And then we ended up going in for an IUI, or artificial insemination. And that's when we got pregnant with Raphael. So everything was going great. I was still working out. I was feeling good. It was a great pregnancy. And we went in for the 20-week ultrasound and found out that Raphael had not only a heart defect, but they saw other things in the ultrasound that indicated to them that he had a chromosomal abnormality. And they thought it was either an extra 18th chromosome or an extra 13th chromosome. So trisomy 18 or trisomy 13. And we were devastated. And throughout this time, I still was like, I can't control what's going on around me, but I can control myself. And so I was like, it was so much more important for me to take care of myself from then on out, as well as not just physically, but mentally, right? If you have ever been dealt a blow in life, which, hi, it's life, I think we all have, it's so easy to feel like it's so easy to feel like you're the only one who's going through it. It's so easy to feel like everything is against you. To be angry, to want to give up, to want to quit. And I've seen so many people pull away from the business because of things that were going on in their lives that they said were hard. And for me, I was like, I need to dig into this because I need this community. I need these friendships. I need to share my story, and I need to inspire people. Because one of the things that I truly believe in is that when we're going through our worst times, those are the times where we get to be extremely vulnerable and transparent, and we get to possibly change someone else's life. We get to inspire somebody else. Our journey and our strength when we're going through struggles will inspire someone else. And that is going to bless more people and bring more people and build trust, so that when people see you, they're like, wow, I want to be more like her. And that was really all I wanted in life. I just wanted to help people. I wanted to encourage people. I feel, I know that that is my God-given gift, is the gift of encouragement. And that is something that I bring into my business every day and say, how can I inspire and encourage someone today? So I just kept on, and it was hard. And it was hard sometimes to show up. It was hard sometimes when you're struggling with sadness to, want to put a face of positivity on, but I did it. And I grew, I made so many amazing friends, people who've been following me throughout my entire journey from, you know, the time we found out about Raphael to the time it was confirmed he had trisomy 18 to the 8 months we lived in the hospital with him. And throughout that 8 months in the hospital, we lived in the NICU for about 5 months. We made a couple different stents to the cardiac ICU. Raphael had 2 heart catheterizations. He had a tracheostomy. So he has a trach that goes into his trachea to help him breathe because he had floppy airways. He also had a stomach procedure because his intestines were backwards. So they had to reverse those. And then he had a G-tube put in. So we were in the hospital with him for, like, we lived in the hospital. It wasn't like we went home. We went home once a week usually, but we lived in the hospital with him, and it was stressful. It was traumatic. And throughout that time, you can't even imagine doing anything for anybody else because it's so hard just to do things for yourself. But I knew, especially now having a child, that this business was something that I wanted so much more. And it wasn't even about the business at that point. It was like, this brings me so much joy and it brings me so much positivity, and I get to be a light to someone else. And that's what pushed me on to continue. That's what made me say, this is something that's bigger than myself. And this is something that is going to be a blessing to other people, regardless of whether they ever sign with me or, you know, they ever do a program with me. It doesn't matter. This is a platform for me to share our story. This is a platform for me to show how incredible God is and to really showcase Raphael, right? And to bring awareness to him and inclusion, and to have people love him as much as we do. So that's really, I mean, when people say this business is hard, and when they say, well, I had a pipe burst in my basement and I just don't think this business is for me. And I kind of just roll my eyes because I'm like, you have no idea. Like, you have no idea what you're capable of. And if that is your mindset, then you'll never make it in this. You'll never make it, right? Like, this business just may not be for you, because this is more than just an opportunity to play on your phone. This is more than just an opportunity to make money. I love the fact that I can make an income by inspiring and encouraging people. But I love even more the fact that I get to show up for myself every day. I get to show up for my son every day, for our baby that's coming on the way. We had a miscarriage 6 months ago. And so we lost a baby. I mean, I get to show up for me, but I get to show up for the women who are like me. I get to show up for the women who struggle with their weight. I get to show up for the women who struggle with infertility or miscarriage, or being a mom. Like, being a mom is just hard, period. I don't care whether you have a special needs child or whether you have a typically developmentally, like, typical child. It doesn't matter. Being a mom is hard. I get to show up for that woman every day, and you get to show up for that woman every single day, just by being you, by sharing your story, by being vulnerable, by sharing your junk and how this has changed you from the personal development that you're doing, which I highly suggest that you're doing. Do PD, from anything that you're learning and growing, but how you're growing as a human being, how, like, boy, like, you have so much more energy to run after the 5 kids that you have, or, you know what I mean? Because people need to see that, and they need to see what's possible in your life so they can see what's possible in their life too. So when you look at this business, I always say, like, the money comes when you're being genuine and authentic with who you are, and when you're being authentic and genuine in what you want. And if you just show up every single day with the mindset of, I'm going to help someone, I'm going to help someone today. And it doesn't even have to be with a Beachbody product. That'll come. But when you show up every single day and say, I'm going to help change someone's life today. I'm going to inspire someone to change today. I'm going to give someone hope today. I'm going to show someone what's possible and that they can. And I'm going to encourage them. When you show up like that every single day and you're passionate and you're excited, then the benefits start to come. Then you start to see the income. Then you start to see the customers roll in. But it's not until you have that passion and that purpose for yourself and that you're so excited to share it with others, that's when you start to see those extra benefits come.
All the feels. You're like, yeah. I love you. And I love you. We have the same brain, just not. And I love the way you word stuff. So, oh gosh, you're amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing. Okay, so will you just like share with us just kind of like briefly, or I mean, take however long you want, but just like a little snippet into like what social media platform are you mainly working on right now? And then like just the little basics, like how are you adding to your network? How are you finding people to invite? How do you go about building relationships with people? If you like love your follow-up system, you can share that, whatever, like whatever you're doing for your daily hustle and your daily grind. When you're talking about like, I get to show up for me and for the women, like, how do you do that?
Awesome. So I think that first and foremost, if you're not showing up for you every day, then you might as well not even like try to show up for anybody else, because you have to be overflowing in order to pour out to somebody else. You can't pour from an empty cup. So if you aren't showing up to do your workout, if you're not drinking your Shakeology or Performance Line or whatever it is, you're not eating right, you're not on your meal plan, you're not reading personal development, you're not growing, then you're not going to be able, like when you go in to do your checklist and do these essentials, you're going to feel so dry and depleted, and it's just going to feel like another notch and checklist to you, instead of it being something that you're like, I'm so freaking excited to sit down and do every day. So in order for me to even get to my power hour to do my business essentials, and it flows, and my system is a lot different than a lot of other coaches. But I think that first and foremost, you have to figure out what works for you, right? Because it's different for every person and every season of life. And there's no right way to do it. And there's no wrong way to do it. The only way that you won't succeed is if you don't do it. If you don't show up and you don't do the essentials every day, then your business just won't grow. But if you were like, okay, well, for me right now, I'm in this season where I'm doing a lot of follow-ups and I'm connecting and meeting new people. So I'm mostly on Instagram. I am on Facebook. And I meet organically on my Facebook through like mom groups, friends of friends. Mostly I let people friend request me. But in my mom groups, if there's people I'm like, oh, we interact all the time in this mom group, why aren't we friends? Then I'll like shoot them a friend request. And I have a lot of my mama friends that actually are on my team now and are my challengers. And then over on Instagram, it's a whole different platform. So you're going to find different ways to connect with people. I love connecting with other moms. Like moms are my jam. I love moms, like moms of younger kids. I have a 2-year-old. Women who've had miscarriage or struggle with infertility, women who are like me, women who are, maybe you're pregnant, you're fun, you're enthusiastic. Like those are women that I want to be around. So when I'm connecting and adding to my network, I'm looking for people that have like a smile in their profile picture. There's a kid in their profile picture. If it's them and their husband and a kid, like then I can be like, oh yeah, those are women that I'm going to be able to relate to. I'm not usually, if there's like a 21-year-old kid, I'm like, I'm a 40. Like I have nothing in common with a 21-year-old kid. So I try to look for like older moms in their 30s and 40s. I have a couple really great mom followers, like big branded accounts that I follow. And I look at the people, the women who are engaging on their posts, and I'll go through there and I will start to follow them. I do what Micah does, where I do the collections. And so I'll go through my following, not my followers, but my following, and I go up to my latest, and I'll go through and see if they're my people, and I'll start engaging and interacting with them. And the first thing I do is I have a genuine like conversation with them. I'm leaving comments on their posts. If there's something that I'm like, that is so cool, then I'm going to be like, girl, where did you get that? Or I love that. Like, it's such a good point, you know, like lots of mom things, talking about the stress of mom, you know what I mean? I'm talking about something that's relatable. I'm loving on their stories. The first thing is getting to know them so they get to know me, so that they can look at my feed and they can look at my bio and go, okay, she's a mom, she's a wife. She helps women. Oh, wow. What does she help women with? She helps women lose the baby weight and find joy and make money from home. Okay, I could be down with that. And then they see how I'm encouraging. And that's what I want them to see. I don't bring up Beachbody right away. I let them follow me. I let them see what I'm doing. I'm engaging with them. I'm talking with them just like a human being. I think sometimes we start to follow people, or we see people and we'd be like, oh, they're so awesome. I'd love to be with them. And we're like, girl, you need to get my challenge group right away. You want to lose 10, 15 pounds? And people are like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, forget you. Like, don't bring that noise my way. And it's weird and it's icky. And I hate being approached like that. And I think in the business, we have to be able to say, how would this make me feel if someone sent me this message? If I would be upset that someone sent me this message, should I send it? And it's literally how I go into it every day. So right now I'm in the expanding and connecting phase. And then because I'm at Success Club now, I try to get Success Club right away within the first 2 weeks of the month. And those are usually all follow-ups. There's never a person that I have invited that's been like, yes, girl, I'm down for it. Sign me up. Let's go right now. No, it has taken months to years. I have one coach, 4 years. I've been coaching 4.5 years. 4 years I've invited her consistently, and she just joined with me about 4 months ago. So following up is huge, huge, huge. And when you follow up, I heard this the other day and I was like, this is freaking gold. When you're following up with people, you're following up with people just to even be like, hey, how are you? I'm checking in to see how things are going. Like, fill me in on what's going on with your life. Are you still working on your health and fitness goals? Just so you know, I'm thinking about you. I'm always here. I've never left. If you need help, I got your back, girlfriend. Just things like that. Just check in on their lives. See how they're doing. Talk to them outside of Beachbody. Because when you do that, like, they're watching you. The people that you invite are watching you. So even if they say no, even if they say not right now, even if they sign with another coach, I had somebody do that. And I followed up with her just to be like, how's life, girl? I'm checking in. How's everything going? And she messaged me back and said, it's my birthday, girl. And I was like, hey. And then she was like, you'll never believe this. I went to renew my BOD and I have a new coach and my other girl must have quit. And how can I switch over to you? And I was like, really, in my mind, I was like, girl, you should have just came on over here in the first place. But I was like, did the new coach reach out to you? Like, oh my goodness, like, I'm so sorry that happened. That's frustrating. Let me help you out. I'll shoot you my coach info and then you can just switch over to me. So continue just to love people, but because that's the business that we're in. We're in to help people. We're in to love people no matter where they're at. That's gonna blow you up. That is going to blow you up more than anything else in the world. So I'm just connecting right now. I'll be doing massive follow-ups. Probably it's the 20th. So next week, I'll be doing massive follow-ups because those are the people that are going to get plugged into my February boot camp. And then the process will start all over again. Did that make sense? I don't know. Sometimes sometimes I feel like I'm like all over the place with things. So mine ebbs and flows. You could do you know, finding something that works for you is really going to ultimately be the key. I think for your first goal should be hitting Success Club, making that a non-negotiable. Hitting Success Club, helping 3 people, that won't happen unless you invite and follow up. You know, we try to get around it. We're like, oh, I don't want to invite. You just got to bite the bullet. But when you're excited for what you do and you're excited because you're getting results and you know the capability of these programs and the products, then it's going to be that much easier to invite. Then fill up your funnel and start doing those massive connections and building new relationships. And then you'll have a new funnel to invite to at the end of the month so you can fill your next month boot camp.
I love it. So how do you keep track of your people? Are you like a Teamsy person, a Google Streak person, a pen and paper person? Like, how do you keep track of your people?
So there's been a lot of ways that I've done it. And I'm trying to find a better way to streamline it. I'm a paper and pen person. I can't help it. I know that people are like, it's so dinosaur and outdated, but I'm like, I've had this since April and I can still go through here and I have it color coded. So I'm like, I can look at the people that I've invited. I can look at the people that have said, yes, they were interested. And those are the people I want to follow up with anyway. I also flag in my Instagram. I flag people that I invite. Sometimes I'll switch them over to a collection that'll say follow up, keep building relationship if they said no. And that's been working well, but I just love my pen and paper. I can't help it. There's something about writing, I think, that connects from, it makes a brain connection, and I'm all about being nerdy in the brain. And so I'm just like, yeah, if I write it down, it just makes a connection in my head. And then I can go through and go, oh yeah, I thought about that person. But even if I'm going through in my flagged, the people that I flagged in my Instagram, then I can just go through, and I like to go through weekly and just be like, how's things, girl? Like, what's going on? And most people are in my stories anyway. Those are the people that constantly watch. They're the super fans. So I'll send them as many invites and follow-ups as I want until they say, no, I'm not going to ever. And I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm still going to love you.
Awesome. I love it. Cause I feel like I love pen and paper too. And I feel like sometimes we just like overcomplicate stuff that like, here's this new way and this new system. And it's like,
yeah. And
something new.
It's hard. And I tried Streak. And I told my personal assistant, I said, I'm trying to organize things. Can you do my Streak for me? But really, I want my Streak to be for my free leads and the customers I already have so I can send it out. I can, like my social media, I like to be social. So most of the women that I'm talking to anyway are women that I'm like, boy, I love you anyway. I want you to be in my life. So I'm constantly talking with them anyway. And so it just makes it easier for me to invite and follow up from that list than to
do it via email.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's really all I use my Streak for too, is just to, I'm trying to get into like sending newsletters so that I can provide value for current customers so that I'm not just like, yeah, you were a Success Club point 17 years ago and I've totally forgotten about you. Like I want to still add value to their lives.
Yep, exactly.
Great. And then you said you have an assistant. When did you, because I know a couple of my girls, like when did you get an assistant?
So I got this assistant. She's been with me for probably about 3 months. She was one of my roommates at Summit. And she helps me out with getting my website together. So I was having her do like adding to my network and doing some connecting, but then it kind of jacked up my Instagram, and I love to connect anyway, because that's my jam. I don't like the mundane things. So I'm like, I need some, like, can you get my website set up? Can you get my free lead sequence set up, like my email sequence into my email list? Can you help me get a PDF together, my free PDF together for my freebie to go into my link tree? So I have her doing that stuff and like back office stuff. Because I love the connecting. I will probably pass her over a list maybe and be like, hey, can you like, cause I have just a copy paste invite, which is, I think is fine. Like for boot camp, and I'd be like, hey, you know, you've been following me and I love the support. You want to like jump in with us? It's going to be freaking awesome. Like I can copy and paste that to everyone and be okay with it. And then the follow-ups after where they're like, yeah, I'm interested, or no, they're not interested. I have like, it's all so easy on my phone. I can just send her that and do it. But the connecting I want to do, the finding my people I want to do, the back office stuff I hate. I was like, can you do my recognition boards? Can you do just those things that I don't want to do? I would suggest that if you do want a virtual assistant, that the first thing you should do is know how to do your own business first. Don't get a personal assistant just to do invites for you because you hate them. You have to like bite the bullet and do invites. You have to like understand, because I still do my own invites. I would still do them even if she was doing them. You have to learn how to get comfortable with them, and know how to run your business first before you pass that off to a personal assistant. But then like, I think Josh Coates even said it in his book, is that if there are things that just aren't your strong suit, they're not your jam, outsource, right? Pass that on to somebody else who can totally do it for you so that you can have more time to focus on the things that you do like to do. So yeah, that's basically what my VA does for me.
I love it. I think it's so true to like, you gotta do the hard things before you can pass them on.
Yeah, for sure. Because I wouldn't like, and some of us just aren't at the stage, right, where you can, because I pay, I mean, mine, I think she's like $10 an hour. And some people just, if you're not making money in your business, like, let's be honest, if you're sitting at Emerald and you're like, I really want a personal assistant, I want somebody to do my stuff for me, but you're sitting at Emerald and you're not hitting Success Club and you're not helping people and you're not bringing in any income, girlfriend, check yourself. You got to go like make your own money first, right? You know, then you can invest in your business. But if you're not doing those things first, it really doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Financially, right? To invest more than you're making.
Right.
At least not in this business. I know like brick and mortar businesses, you totally have to like invest more than you're making, especially
right.
But in this business, you don't have to do that. So
nope. And like the brick and mortar, like most people have to take out loans and things. And that's the beautiful part, is that, you know, as coaches, we can come in and literally start making money right away because we don't have the overhead. We don't have to pay for, you know, all the crazy things that brick and mortars or even some other MLMs do. We don't have that whole thing hanging over our heads. We can come in and start helping people right away and get a paycheck right away.
Yeah. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anything else you want to share? Any final awesomeness?
Man, you know what? Really, the only thing this is what I've been telling everyone. I'm just like 2020 vision 2020 is get crystal clear on what you want for your life. Get crystal clear on what you want for your family, what you want for your health, what you want for your marriage, what you want for every aspect of your life, and then figure out how the coaching opportunity can help you get those things. Because all in all, it's really about being a freaking amazing person and letting your light shine. And if you stepped into this as a business, then you stepped into it for a reason and you said, wow, there's something bigger that's out there for me. So I want you to go get it. I want you to visualize it. I want you to get it. I want you to trust that God, or, you know, I don't know, I'm a Christian. I love Jesus. So I will always talk about God. But, you know, if you're like, the universe has something for me, someone bigger, higher has something for me. God has a big plan for you. And he gave you special and unique gifts that aren't like me, that aren't like Bryn, that aren't like anybody else. And he wants you to go into the world and he wants you to be a light to somebody else's life, regardless of whether they work with you in a month or a year or 2 years or never. He wants you to shine your light, to shine his light, and he is going to like just bless you through that. So go into this just thinking about what an impact you can make in people's lives every single day. And that is going to be the driving force, because when you become better, you get better, you help more, you leave a deeper and richer impact on this world. And that is vision, and that is big, and that is amazing, and that is what you were designed for.
And you used so many words that I'm like, because our whole team is powerful beyond measure. And like my slogan or whatever mission statement is, you are meant to shine. Like that's like the power behind my team. And so like all the words that you used about light and all the things, I'm like, yes, I love it. Okay.
Yes.
You're the shiz, and I so appreciate you.
I'm excited to see what you guys do, what your team does this year. You know, just so you guys know, you know, I've known Bryn for a while, and I've watched her grow as a leader, as a human. I've watched her grow as a coach, and you guys are so incredibly blessed to have Bryn as such an amazing leader. And she's so humble that she'll be like, no, no, no. But I'm so honest, like her leadership is impeccable, and she's growing, and she is someone that is going to lead you guys to the top, and you guys together are going to be unfreaking stoppable. So I can't wait to see every single one of you walk across that stage at Summit. I can't wait to hear success stories of the people that you're reaching and the impact that you're leaving in people's lives, because I truly believe that you guys will do it.
You're the best. And everything right back at you, my friend. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for allowing me to just come on and chat with you guys.
Of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, you guys. Oh, listen, if any of you guys, like, I'm always so very open. I know Savannah and I talk a lot over on Insta, but if you're ever like, hey, you know, maybe you have questions like this, like, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I know so there are some coaches that are like way too big to like leave comments on your stuff, but I'm not like that, because I truly want to see and believe that you all can succeed. Feel free to drop me a message on my Insta. I'm _ Amanda.Trojan, or I'm on Facebook. But seriously, reach out, ask questions. I'm here to help you. I'm here to cheer you on and support you every step of the way. So don't be a stranger.
You're the best.
Yay!
Thank you.
All right, welcome. Bye, ladies.
Love you, friend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.